Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with a topic session today with my guy, Mr. Malcolm Isom. And today is an important day in our world. And it's Martin Luther King Day. And so we just wanted to get on and just do a topic session about
yes, sir.
The man, Mr. MLK, Dr. MLK. And so just want to just kind of reflect on, the greatness of what he was, what he stood for. We just, both of us, are striving to instill greatness in others as well and be great, through faith. And so just want to just reflect on some of the things that we saw from him. But first, Malcolm, man, why was Dr. King important to you in your life?
Just, reading, looking at videos, documentaries.
Yeah.
He was important because he was just a trendsetter. He paved the way and didn't take no for an answer and no excuses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And was slandered and just, talked about and scrutinized. And so if he can endure a nation or just, whatever percentage didn't like him or whatever opposition he had, he endured that. So if it's things that I go through in my life as an African American male, I can endure it. By the grace of God, myself going through trials and tribulation and pushback, opposition, obstacles and hurdles, I kind of think about that. Like, wait, this is nothing compared to what, our the generation before us went through. So when you put things into perspective that way, I'm not going to say it makes it easier, but it makes it a little bit more manageable to kind of just take a step back, reflect, slow down a little bit, pray, and just, as long as you're putting one foot in front of the other, I am a firm believer. And you don't even have to take my word for it. It's in a good book. It's in the Bible. God will take care of you. So, and that's what he did. He put one foot in front of the other, literally and figuratively. They did marches and, whatnot and try to pass just different voting rights and, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so he did it physically and mentally as well. So that's why he's important to me.
I think for me, man, the word that comes up is sacrifices. Like when I think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I think of sacrifices, just the sacrifices that he went through for things to be better for us.
Absolutely.
And so for that, I don't take it lightly at all, having the opportunities to do the things that I'm blessed to do, because I know that, those that have come before me have sacrificed immensely. Just for me to have the freedoms that I have and the opportunities to do the things that I do, like it's not just me. Like it's
right.
I'm not here if it's not for them. Period.
Right.
And so,
right.
man, I think the word that comes up for me is sacrifices, and I'm truly grateful for that. And so,
Absolutely.
The next component I want to hit on is just memories. We talk about. Of course, this was before our time, as we were growing up, some of those things, our family. But what's one of your fondest memories that you can remember of Dr. King?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a memory, but I do want to say this. I remember I was in a second or third grade and my mom I got in a car, I got home or something, and my mom told me and my brothers, hey, I better not ever hear y'all come home and say a teacher don't like you because you're black. And she had no reason to tell us that. It's not, we wasn't coming home saying, hey, these teachers are racist. We wasn't doing any of that. But for whatever reason, she told us that. And that stuck with me, because there is no excuse. There, you know what I mean? We have to stop. I been in education, I hear it quite often. Man, she racist. Man, you know what I mean? She don't like black people. And I say, okay, I ask students all the time, what is racism? What does that mean? And 99% of the time, they don't even know. And they just hear it, on TV, or they hear it from home, or it's ridiculous. So, I would say, just fondest memory, or just something that I know about. I don't know much statistics on it, too many facts, right? But like you said, just being authentic in who you are and what you believe in, no matter what. Like you mentioned, sacrifice. Man, he was well, obviously he was willing to die for the cause. I mean, he put himself in harm's way every single day for the cause. And so that's what I want to be like. I'm not going to say intentionally put myself in harm's way, but I am going to say go out there bold and, with courage to speak truth, to speak whatever I need to, especially when I'm talking about God. And no matter who disagrees, if it's unpopular, it doesn't matter to me, because I know that, God, he saved me, and I told him I'll never deny him in front of anybody. So when I think of Dr. King, he didn't care. He had a vision, he had a goal, and he was going to do whatever it took to get through to it.
I think, man, for me, my fondest memory of Dr. King is just seeing the pictures of him giving the I Have a Dream speech and clips of that. Man, I don't know, man, that just seeing that stood so tall and meant so much to me. So first, about the sacrifices, like you said, this man is willing to die for the cause.
Right.
Like to just like, I want it to be better so bad that I'm willing to die for it. And I'm willing to, with faith-based principles, speak about it with fervor and intention and with everything I got to the masses to, hey, come on, y'all, let's get it right,
Right.
But then being on a historical site too. You look at like the Lincoln Memorial, and
absolutely,
I've had an opportunity to be at that place a couple times, once as a kid, and then once here recently a couple years ago. I'm telling you, man, like every time I'm there, it gives me chills because I think of that, like the like all of the people, like the Million Man March. I mean, like, you think about all of the historic events that have happened on those steps, and the people that have sacrificed for us. And so I think for me, that's like my fondest memory, just seeing like the pictures and the clips of him with the I Have a Dream speech and what that stands for and what that means.
Absolutely. Have you ever been to the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis? I want to say it's in Memphis, yeah.
I have not, but man, I'm that's on my bucket list to get there. So looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, I don't know, X amount of years ago, my family and I, my mom, dad, sisters, brothers, we took a trip there. And so now that, you got to talk, like, wow, wait a minute. They have his bedroom where he was at. Yeah. And it's glassed off, it's sealed off, but you can kind of walk at the hotel, you can walk through it. Yeah. And man, you can see where he was staying. Right. And then across the street, or, across the field, it was 10 years ago. So I don't quite remember all the details, but you can see where the assassin was at, where he was at. Yeah. The windowsill cracked. And so you were also able to walk over there. And so I was like, man, this is where he was at. This was the balcony he was on.
Crazy.
You know, so no, that was a good experience. That was a good experience.
Yeah, it's cool. So that they must have like some kind of replica or something, because they have that. Like when I went to DC, they have like the room, like all of that. Like, man, and it's pretty like down to the detail, like an ashtray, like a it's pretty cool to see all that for sure.
You're right.
So the last thing I want to hit on with our topic session was we talk about Dr. Martin Luther King is, he had a dream, and so for me, like I've taken that to heart, just hearing preachers growing up, my family in faith, talk about the dream, in church, you always do this, all of that stuff growing up. And so like that's meant something to me. Right. And those things, those traits, like I've tried to instill that or take from that learning and use that in my life. So in your life, man, how have you taken what you've seen from, Dr. King, what you all taken in from that? How are you striving to use that in your life?
Man, just without, man, you got to excuse me because I don't quite remember the verse, but without a vision, the people will perish.
Yeah.
And I wish I knew the exact verse on that, but it's trying to, and I'm speaking from my personal experience, but also just from being around kids for the last 12 years in the education system, a lot of us just don't have any vision. And when I say us, I don't mean Black people. I just mean, honestly, just a lot of people in general.
Life.
Yeah, they don't have, or at least I was not taught, hey, listen, have a vision for something and work toward it. And so reflecting, that would be the biggest takeaway is, like you mentioned, that I have a dream speech. He had a dream. He had a vision. And you saw what it takes to you see that, and I'm gonna go for it because this is my vision. I know I'm gonna be met with opposition. I already know that. So bring it on. But you know what I mean? I'm gonna just go around and I'm gonna step over and I'm gonna keep going. So for me, it's just, we have to have vision. We have to have goals. We have to envision ourselves as being successful. And it's my responsibility to what God has me now to tell my athletes about that, to tell my kids about that, to tell my wife about that, my parents, my siblings, or just whoever I can encourage. You can't get somewhere if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know where you're at. So that, to me, is the biggest takeaway, the biggest thing that is I take full responsibility for, is just trying to inform the people, like, hey, man, you got to write this stuff down. We have to meditate on this. We have to pray about this, and we have to do something about it.
I love it, man. I love it. I think for me, what I have taken from Dr. Martin Luther King, I think, for one, again, like I talked about earlier, the sacrifices. I saw that by making sacrifices, the people that you love and care for benefit. And so which digs into your why. Why do you do what you do? Why did I choose to be a coach? Like, why did I choose to strive to inspire? And and so it comes along with those sacrifices. I think that's the first component. I think the next component for me is the faith-based background. And so I think you can't go wrong if you're doing everything you do in your life with faith-based principles, right? Like, you can't go wrong. Like, like, don't lean to your own understanding, right? Like, I know like, if it's just me, I'm gonna mess it up.
right. Yeah.
But if I can say, oh man, like, this is the word, this is what the Bible, like, this is faith-based principles, that I can hang my hat on and have no qualms about it. That's what I believe in, you know? And so I think sacrifices, faith-based principles. I think the next component, man, is just, I agree with, like you said, having a vision, having a dream of where you're going, setting your goals, knowing what you want to get to, having that drive, like, and then putting in the work behind it.
Absolutely.
Like we can say all day long, we could say, you could do, I'm gonna, we need to, we can do that all day long.
Right.
But nothing happens if you don't put the work in, man.
Absolutely.
And so
absolutely.
I think that those are the three things that I've taken from Dr. King that I've strived to do in my life. And so for me, I'm not a huge talker. I'm not a huge, prub me. It's about, it's not, I'm not that dude.
Right.
I'm more so like relax, chilling in the cut. But it's on, it's a sense of urgency and passion about what I do. And if I have distractions or worried about all those other things and I don't accomplish, I don't have opportunity to go get it. Right.
For sure. There you go. Yeah.
So for me, man, I think that those are the things that I've learned by observing, Dr. King, some of the things that he's done, the history behind it, researching, reading, watching, listening, all of those things. That's what I've learned from that. And what I'm striving to do in my life on a day-to-day basis is to try to make things better.
Right. And that's where, and I don't know if it's a quote I heard or if it's a video, I have no idea, but someone said you can't crash a parked car. So, I mean, you can have a beautiful Ferrari in the garage, and if you're not getting in it, what's the point? So it's the same thing as, like you mentioned, like with goals. You can have great goals. You can have your vision board. You can have this and that. That's like your Ferrari park. Okay, that's great. All right, now what you going to do? All right, so you got to get in that car. Yeah, so when you get in it, there are risks. Yeah, you got to go through some hills and some valleys. You're going to be hit with rainstorms and, erratic drivers. And, there's going to be danger. You know what I mean? But it's fun. You know what I mean? I'd rather go through that than to just have it sitting here collecting dust. So it's the same things with our goals is all right, let's take the first step. What does it take for you to do that? And you may not even know. I mean, I can share something personal with you now. Financial literacy. That's my next venture in life. It's something that I've never been taught other than, I've been taught make money, save, pay your bills, get out of debt. But that's pretty much it. I've never been taught. Like, how do you make money work for you? How do you build net worth?
Taxes,
Exactly. Yeah. So this stuff right now is overwhelming to me. I'm reading a book called The Millionaire Next Door. It's a great book. I picked up a lot of nuggets, but a lot of this stuff is overwhelming, but that doesn't matter. I'm still going to read it. I'm still going to watch videos on financial literacy. I'm still going to order my next book that I need to read, because that's me putting that car in drive. That's me going out, and it's scary. It's overwhelming. I'm anxious about it. Like, man, I don't understand this, but eventually I will. Eventually that's going to become part of me. That's my goal.
I love it, man. Well, again, I just want to say thanks so much for taking the time to do the topic session on MLK, on this MLK Day, just showing appreciation to the great man, the great doctor. And, my hope is that we continue to just keep his dream alive and live that by our day-to-day actions.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you guys for checking out this topic session. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.